Police in Australia used pepper spray and made multiple arrests at a large Sydney protest opposing the visit of Israeli President Isaac Herzog, after authorities said some demonstrators attempted to march in breach of temporary restrictions put in place for the visit. New South Wales police said 27 people were arrested and that 10 officers were assaulted during the unrest. Medics treated protesters who were affected by pepper spray in the city centre, while video and eyewitness accounts described scuffles as police pushed crowds back. The rally began near Town Hall and drew a wide cross-section of demonstrators, including many Muslim and Palestinian Australians, alongside other supporters calling for an end to Israel's war in Gaza. Organisers framed the event as a protest against Herzog's presence and a broader demand for accountability over the scale of civilian harm in Gaza. Before the escalation, the protest was described as orderly, with speeches and chants in a dense crowd. Tensions rose when police and organisers disagreed over whether the crowd could move onto roads and proceed towards state parliament. Police repeatedly issued directions for the crowd to disperse. Witnesses reported pepper spray being deployed as police advanced. Several lawmakers who attended or observed the protest publicly raised concerns about police conduct. One state MP alleged officers punched and threw a person to the ground, and another said she was assaulted. Police leadership, however, argued that speakers' rhetoric encouraged an unlawful march and said officers were dealing with a heightened security environment linked to an internationally protected guest. The clash came against the backdrop of legal and political debate in Australia over protest rights and police powers. Earlier that day, a court rejected a legal challenge to expanded policing powers declared for the period of Herzog's visit. The major event framework allows police to impose restrictions in designated areas, including move-on orders, limits on access, and searches. Critics argued the measures were overly broad for a political visit and risked suppressing dissent. The state government defended the approach as necessary to prevent disorder and keep opposing groups apart, pointing to the country's heightened tensions after a deadly attack at a Hanukkah gathering in December 2025. Herzog's Australia trip was described by officials as a solidarity visit with Jewish communities following that attack. It also drew protests elsewhere, including in Melbourne, where police also reported clashes. In Sydney, the policing of the protest has added to concerns in Muslim communities about whether public order tactics are applied fairly when demonstrations involve Palestine. Reporting from the scene described police pushing media away at points and removing a group of Muslim men as they were leading prayer during the unrest, an episode that has become a focal point for those arguing the crackdown went beyond managing crowd safety.